Alright, welcome back to part 2, transfer case service of the 243-C. Now I can't guarantee if you have a transfer case hang up like I'm having that changing the fluid is going to fix anything. Albeit I will tell you it's original fluid, and we're going to be putting in Dex 6, which is backwards compatible with Dex 3. But to get the job started, you do got to take the transfer case protection plate off. We're going to start there first. It is a T50, so you will need some Torx tools. I can't tell you this is going to be easy because those bolts underneath are usually pretty hard to get out, but we got a DeWalt. We'll see if we can do it. Strike one. Strike two.
There's nuts and bolts on this, because...
Oh, it's not capturing the frame technology. Well, ain't that sad.
Oh, they're all spinning now, so at least they're loose, but it feels like a...
Half inch.
Alright, 13, 14, 15, the capture nuts on top.
I don't know, I haven't pulled that plate off in a long time.
Probably gonna be a 16. Nope, that's a 15.
5/8. 5/8 or 15.
There's one. You could very easily snap a bolt.
Yeah, just put a standard bolt in.
Oh, but the Torx ones are so much fun.
They didn't want to affect ground clearance with the square bolt.
Right, yeah. Even though it's sucked into the pan, but okay.
You know, GM engineers.
Now that I've worked on Dodge, sometimes I look at the Chevy stuff and I'm like, really? But then I look at some of the Dodge stuff and I'm like, really?
Alright, one plate out of the way. Now we'll get you a closer shot of the bolts you got to get. Okay, you'll notice on your transfer case you have two big bolts. You have a lower one for draining, and you got a top one for filling. Now they do that so you don't overfill your case. The other thing with the 243-C is that they do have a magnet that catches all the metal if this thing decides to start shredding apart. Now, we're going to be catching the fluid carefully because we want to inspect it to make sure that we're not having no mechanical issues and it's just a lubrication issue. And I will tell you, if these transfer cases don't get used for a long time, the chances they're going to stick is pretty high, and just using it might clear its throat, but sometimes there is internal damage, and you know the fluid will tell you that. So catch your fluid in a clean container. What we did is we cut apart that 1 gallon container of antifreeze, empty of course, and we're going to catch it carefully so we can inspect it. Now if I remember right, that bolt that we got to get at is a 32. It's a pretty big bolt, so if you don't have it, don't try to do it with a crescent wrench or vice grip, because those bolts, if they haven't been off for a long time, will be difficult to remove. Alright, we're going to get in our set and see which one it is. I'm pretty sure it's a 32 though.
I will be amazed if it's the same size as mine. Yeah, it's a 32, that's all you're getting, but I don't know if you're getting a wrench in there. That might be enough clearance. Well, no, because we have to run the adapter. The black adapter. And the problem is your
cross member's in the way for the torsion bars.
Yeah. I can't even, well, yeah, there's no room to socket this. That might be a problem today.
I don't think I have a 32.
I wish you could see what I'm seeing, because
No, I know there's the cross member's always been in the way in trying to service this transfer case. I mean, I've added fluid to it once, but
Well, that's different because you can go.
oh yeah, it's up top.
You can go above with an extension and hit it. But as far as getting at it here, I mean, I'm almost touching the cross member with just the socket extension or socket adapter. So.
Okay, well, we got to get creative. Hold on a sec. Well, once upon a time, I guess I bought a 32.
Yeah, no, this is a 30, by the way.
30?
Yeah, see?
Oh.
You got a 30?
Damn, I don't know. Back to the box. Alright, so we found you need a 30 millimeter socket. And you're going to have to use a wrench on this job. There's just no room for it. So I have one of these old-timer tools. It's a 7/8 through 1.25 inches, and it's designed to fit any bolt. It looks like I'm actually going to have a use for it. First time I've ever used that tool in 20 years. So let's give it a go. Now this is as easy as changing oil in your vehicle once you got everything, all the parts, tools, and what you need. Alright, we're going to put it into our approved catch container so we can inspect the fluid. Now it's going to be dark because it is a Dexron 3. And one fun fact to note that most transfer cases after the new process 208 incorporate an oil pump. That's hence the reason why they're using automatic transmission fluid.
Oh man, this bolt has not been out.
No. Never serviced a transfer case in 177,000 miles. So that's the original GM fluid from 1995.
I don't want it to go everywhere. And I know it's going to.
That's why we have cardboard underneath.
Come on, leak with the bolt.
Still looks pretty red. Let's hope we don't see any metal chunks in the fluid. Now there is a magnet in there too, so if there is any, we'll probably stick the camera up there and look and see. Yeah, the fluid's got a little brownish tint to it. The transfer cases generally don't get too hot. I mean, they get hot from the transmission heat, but as far as direct heat goes, transfer case is probably the coolest running part of this whole drivetrain.
Trying to drain this without getting it everywhere.
Well, there isn't that much in there, so just keep doing what you're doing. You definitely want gloves for this job.
There's nothing on the bolt.
Yeah, the magnet though is inside the case.
Oh. See, mine's on the bolt.
And after it's done draining, we'll inspect the fluid real quick before we refill it.
We should have got some of those AmOil crush packets and say we're sponsored by AmOil.
Yeah. There's only one guy on YouTube I know that's sponsored by AmOil. And he does not do gasoline repair.
No. This thing's never going to be done draining.
At some point it will be. I want to stick the inspection camera in there, so just keep that bolt out.
Okay.
Alright, we'll let this drip dry and then we'll inspect the fluid. Oh, I don't see any chunkies in there. The fluid is dark though, so I mean it's definitely well past its prime. So we're hoping that we're having just a lubrication issue, just the viscosity of the oil's not that great. But since synthetic GM Dexron 6 should fix this issue. Alright, at this point, just put your bolt back in. And you do want this tight enough so, of course, obviously it doesn't leak. If I find a torque spec for it, I'll let you know. But generally what we do with these, we just give them a quarter pass turn and call it good.
You should be able to turn this in all the way with your hand before you need the tool.
And you don't want to over torque it either because you can destroy the threads. Now we're going to take out the fill port bolt.
I hope that came loose and it didn't. Yep, it came loose. Okay. I was worried I was going to strip the bolt.
Oh no, that's a big bolt.
Mine almost stripped on my Dodge.
Yeah, but you got a small 231 case.
Dude, my bolt's the same size, man. I have the same bolt you do.
Oh, interchangeable Dodge Chevy parts?
Yep.
Well, they're both made by New Process.
New venture or new process?
Depending on the year. This is an NP, this is old school.
Well, then mine would be a new process. Because mine's a 96. I don't know about that.
No, it should be an NP241.
Well, it's a great case, I'll tell you that.
Now, this is the part where you want to be clean. You want to make sure hoses are clean, your fluid's clean. Clean, clean, clean. And pump, pump, pump. And pretty much you're going to do this part of the procedure until it squirts out the top. You want to make sure you don't overfill it. And then we're going to go through a careful procedure to prime the pump in the transfer case.
I don't know why I'm getting mostly air. There we go. I guess this is why AMSOIL came out with those squeezable bags. I think AMSOIL's the only one to do that. That's it. That's all she wrote for this bottle.
And they definitely wouldn't use the fluid that has Mercron capable. Mercron is a Ford product, and though they do have a Dex 6 Mercron mix, we've learned over the years to not use that. Bad things will happen. Right now we're on quart number 2. Another note, you want to make sure you do this on a level surface. That's another way you can overfill these if you don't use a level surface.
Oh, do we have a pan for when this thing starts to leak?
No, but I'll get one. Gonna need it.
Okay, because I don't see it dripping yet.
No, it will drip.
It's dry as a bone. Alright, here we go. Third bottle. Are you serious?
I'd say she's full, Captain.
Yep. I'm gonna do one or two more squirts just in case. You don't want it to fool you. I think it might have just been my
Pumping?
yeah.
False alarm. Keep pumping.
You just got this cross member like right in the way. That's the other thing on my Dodge. Like, there's no cross member in the way for the transfer case.
Well, you gotta see how big the torsion bars are on this thing. And they're halfway back the frame.
I was gonna be like, there's no way this transfer case takes 2 quarts.
It's pretty big. Let's say you're full there.
I always like to triple check my triple check. Okay, this time it's not my hose leaking, so.
What was about 2 3/4 quart?
I'm about 300 milliliters on this, so I'm gonna say 2 and about
2 5/8 quarts.
That did this to me on the Dodge because I put it in 4-wheel drive and I had no action. So I checked the fluid. I'm like, oh, so it was the hose dripping, not the transfer case.
This is why you want it on a level surface to make sure you get the accurate amount in there. As you're seeing, we're just letting it drip. Might do this for a couple minutes, so just be prepared. So it's probably about 2 1/2 quart system.
Or 2 3/4.
Well, no, you put 2 5/8 in there and it's dripping, so I'm going to say 2 1/2 quarts.
Well, that means we're only 100 milliliters overfilled.
Yep.
Alright, there we go. We're at a slow drip. I'm putting the plug in.
Yep, the pump's going to suck a little bit up. Alright, when she's done spilling over, just put your bolt back in. And same thing, don't over tighten it, because you will have to service it again at some point. Well, I do understand the bolt's hard to see, but it's there.
Alright, now just that stupid dangly cover.
We're going to leave the cover off for a sec. We've got to prime the pump.
Okay.
At this point, you want to get all your stuff out of the way because you're going to have to run the truck. You're going to have to get it up in the air so the rear tires can run. This transfer case oils anytime that propeller shaft in the rear moves. So we're going to go ahead and run the rear up in the air. You want to put it in first gear. You want to just be easy and gentle. Don't go out and just hog this thing out. You know, you want to do this right so your pump gets lubricated. You don't trash your case.